Man, I was getting ready to get all my ducks in a row, get all my law and whatnot set up, but then I just watched a little bit more and you brought in the Protect Act. You absolute moron, you have no idea what you're talking about. Case in point, my Nintendo Switch. Nintendo is known as a family-friendly oriented gaming console brand, and yet it has this very infamous lolly virtual novel that you can buy on their eShop legally, not just in Japan, but here in the States. Interesting how that works. It's like lolly doesn't equate or even is FIA like you're trying to say it is. Because if it was, this virtual novel would not be on the Nintendo Switch in the first place. And yet, it very much is. Interesting how that works, doesn't it? Real interesting how that works, isn't it? Maybe if you read just a little bit more into the Protect Act's history and what they have done since with it, maybe you'll understand how stupid you actually are. You also ignore the fact that short, petite women that will match the size of an actual lolly do in fact exist. This right here being one of them. Because, short, petite women are a more common thing in Asian countries like Japan and whatnot. Not like here in the States because we're all fat and stupid apparently. Well, I mean, I'm pretty smart, but you're clearly not. Also, interesting how you bring this one up right here. And yet, you completely ignore this one right here at the very end. Indistinguishable. And going by your comment right here, if I go here, you think an anime character is a child. What else am I supposed to say? You are mentally stunted. And on top of that, you're using Google search while I'm using an actual legal site and everything else. You're relying on a Google AI bot when I'm relying on actual US law stating otherwise. Man, I was getting ready to do like a whole fucking video and everything on you. I'm still going to dunk on you a little bit, but my God, all I had to do was just watch like a little bit more than a minute in and just absolutely destroy your mental delusion. Also, why is it that under your own logic, you have CSAM on your hard drive? And then on top of that, you're now redistributing that said CSAM onto YouTube, censored or not, making you essentially a distributor of CSAM by your own mental delusion. You guys really are not that smart, and it shows every single time. Another thing I find interesting, you state right here that this is old video. So why do you only just now upload it? Is it because, oh, I don't know, an actual got found out in the Sea of Thieves community? You're mentally stunted, you don't know US law properly, and you think I'm over an anime character. And you only just now upload this video trying to do a gacha on me because an actual got found out in the Sea of Thieves community. And instead of taking that energy to go after the people in the community and Rare itself that actually need to be go after and whatnot, you make a video on me to push your mental delusion instead of going after actual in the Sea of Thieves community. Again, you're not that smart, buddy. I know I know you guys don't like the way I sound. I know that for self-aware of that. But my guy, you're not that smart. And on top of that, you only go after one of my posters on my wall while excluding all the others I have on my wall and throughout my room. And when it comes to this particular poster right here, this is one of the earliest posters I have. This one's at least 12 years old minimum. But hey, let's ignore all the other posters because, you know, it destroys your narrative. I mean, I already destroyed your narrative, but it destroys it even more when you ignore all the other posters in my room. Let's also ignore the life-size Bella I have also in my room. She's 1-to-1 life-size with my 3D printers. Let's also ignore this poster. Very provocative poster on top of that. This is the live wallpaper engine I use, by the way. And if I quit out wallpaper engine, this is my normal wallpaper of Palova. Now, I'm going to show your logic even more. Let's start off with Yuma Musume, how you pronounce it. This horse girl racing game is full of lollies. And would you look at this? The current horse girl is a lolly, or at least the one I have for my homepage and whatnot. This game is riddled with lolly characters, and yet I can legally download this not just on the Google Play Store, the App Store, and even on Steam. Because, you know, lolly characters are in fact not real. Now, one thing you may also note is that my team rank and whatnot is pretty low. There is an actual reason why. I'm waiting for my main girl, Air Shirker, to be released globally. And once she is released, I'll be pulling for her. And apparently, if this thing has anything like other gacha games, I gotta pull multiples of her to get her fully like set to the way she needs to be. But either way, when she's released globally, I'm using everything I saved to make sure I snag her and whatever dupes I need to make sure she is as strong and speedy as needed. But either way, let's get on to destroying your logic even more, because even Air Shirker is just fed up with your stupidity. Let's now bring in Withering Waves for a brief bit. With that said, Palova is my main. With that said, I have another character that is pretty short. Notice how low down the camera goes? Because this one right here, I don't know how to pronounce the name, is a lolly. Palova is normal. Sitcha is normal. And yet she is a lolly. And apparently I even have another lolly. Give me a quick second. Alright, we are back to Sitcha. Let's go to her again. And then let's bring the new one in. This one is also a lolly. Interesting. It's like lolly characters aren't real or something, and you're just mentally deluded. But either way, again, anime characters aren't real. Sadly, Palova isn't real. She deserves happiness. With that said, though, I'm going to go back into her Sonoro. If I'm not doing anything in Withering Waves at the moment, I'm in her Sonoro. It's been like this since I played her storyline, and it'll continue being like that till whenever. Let's bring in Azur Lane. Interesting, this is my main ship girl, Toka. Even though Azur Lane is completely full of lollies, the actual main character I have is Toka. Oh, and on top of that, another thing I need to mention is that you can play Azur Lane legally on the Google Play Store, App Store. I think there's a Steam version at some point, I don't remember. But either way, this game is full of lolly characters, and yet it's legal. Interesting how that works. It's like they're drawings or something. Even if they're animated, they're not real. Do I even need to bring in Blue Archive? Really? Again, this game's riddled of lollies far more than Azur Lane. And yet, again, just like with Azur Lane, you can play this on your smartphone, Apple, Google. There's even a Steam version. And it's full of lollies. And yet, you can legally play it. Interesting how that works. They're not real or something. And if you're wondering what my actual character is, lo and behold, it's the crazy girl from earlier. Well, she's actually crazy. The live wallpaper, though, is where she's a little more normal. But she's my little cinnamon bun, even though I don't really play Blue Archive that much. I just like her because, well, I like my crazy girl. Do I really have to bring up Genshin Impact to make your debunking even more? I don't want to play Genshin Impact, even if it's for no more than a minute just to debunk you. Fine. I'll play Genshin Impact. But first, I'll play the slightly less boring ZZZ, which I also don't really play because, again, Withering Waves is a superior gacha game. And then we got NTE, which I'll be bringing up in a little bit. I like NTE, but I'm waiting for the other Japanese, or not Japanese, the other GTA anime game to come out. Anton, I believe is how you pronounce it. Nice to see we're getting more trickle stuff for Anton now since NTE released. But Anton will have to wait, unfortunately, because it's not released yet. Let's just hope they're really, as Zoomers say, cooking with that game. Alright, what character do I have that's actually a lolly? Isn't this one a lolly? Yeah, she's a lolly. This one's a lolly. Obviously, she's not. Lolly. Lolly. Normal. Normal. Some bear dude. Apparently I can eventually get all these other characters, but I couldn't get the shark girl, which is... I do want to apologize for the hard cut. Apparently, even though my phone was on a wall charger, the charger is at 2 amps. Apparently that's still not enough to charge and record a video at the exact same time. So now I'm using a lightning to USB-C cable, and I'm plugged into the charging brick for my smartphone, which is this guy right here. So it should be far more powerful. But with that said, so like I was trying to say, where is that stupid shark girl? Is it this one? Oh, there she is. I wanted her when she initially released. I obviously didn't get her. And since this is made by the same company that makes Genshin Impact, I'm just not going to care to play this game. So, again, either way though, this game has lollies. And yet, I can legally download it, not just on my computer, but both a Google phone and an iPhone and whatnot. Heck, I think you can even get it up and running on a Linux machine if you know what you're doing. But Linux sucks, and I'm not going to get into that. Oh, and another reason why I don't play this game anymore is because there's no actual, like, log out button. The only way to log out of this game is literally Alt F4. Now I'm back to this garbage. So, lolly number 1, Paimon, obviously. Alright, let's now go through Genshin Impact. Lolly. Lolly. I actually initially really wanted this one when she originally released because she reminds me of another character which I'll be bringing up in a little bit, but either way, she's a lolly. I believe this one's a lolly. This one's a lolly. This one's fucking butt ugly. Lolly. Lolly. It's possibly a lolly, but again, I don't fucking care. It's Genshin Impact. Forgot I had this one. I actually really wanted her when she released. She's very, very beautiful looking, but again, it's Genshin Impact. Lolly. This one this one's a lolly. I think this one will classify as a shorta, which is the male version of lolly. Lolly. Shorta. Impact. I don't care for this game. I got Withering Waves for God's sakes. Alright, when it comes to NTE, it's still fairly new, but when it comes to my current cast, obviously Mint, Daffodil, and Henya, which classifies as a lolly. One of the freebie characters you get is a Shorta. With that said, if I scroll down a little bit more, I obviously pulled for her. She's normal. I got this one. She's a something, I'll just say, but When it comes to character casts, I obviously have fairly little. I only really went for the characters I want. I obviously wanted her. Didn't really know she was what she was. She reminded me of Muna, but she more reminds me of a horny masochist. With that said, I prefer Mint, Daffodil, and of course, Mommy. But like I said before, if Lolly was illegal, Lolly was fair, why am I allowed to play all these games that have these Lolly characters and even Shorta characters, which again, Shorta is the male version of Lolly? Why are we allowed to play these games? It's like they're not real or something. And you're just so mentally stunted and delusional that you're projecting your insecurities onto me because you just don't like anime characters, apparently. Because you're just, that's stunted. I'm going to go right back to Withering Waves for a brief second. Remember how I mentioned Mommy? This is my Mommy. Very beautiful. And apparently I managed to pull her fairly quickly, which means if my reading of what normally goes on when it comes to the polling system for Withering Waves is to be believed, I'll be able to get Lucy fairly easily when the Cyberpunk 2077 collab releases. With that said, though, when it comes to Adam Smasher, I'm going to be smashing his ass, hopefully, with Palova. But yeah, either way, anime characters are not real, never have been real, nor are they illegal. But hey, continue to be a mentally deranged moron. So with that said, it just wasn't enough to debunk everything you're saying about me and anime characters and whatnot. Well, I'm about to destroy it even more. To end this video off, here is my Nintendo Switch. As we all know, Nintendo is a family-friendly oriented gaming console. And yet, it has this very, very infamous Lolly virtual novel. You can buy it legally on the Nintendo Switch. So, explain to me again how Lolly is via when Nintendo, the family-friendly gaming console, has this in its eShop. You're not that smart, are you, buddy?